Warriors Nation, have you felt it? That creeping sense of unease. That nagging frustration as the NBA offseason, once promised to be an explosive spectacle of seismic shifts, has instead settled into an unnerving quiet. We were told this summer would be an absolute whirlwind, a chaotic dance of player movement and franchise-altering decisions. Yet here we stand, watching other teams make their plays, while our beloved Golden State Warriors remain eerily, stubbornly silent. In a league defined by constant motion, they are the lone, static anomaly, the only team yet to make a single move. It's enough to make you wonder, isn't it? Are the Warriors simply biding their time, or are they trapped in a strategic stalemate, particularly when it comes to the enigmatic future of Jonathan Kuminga? And what if the answer to that question, the key to unlocking the Warriors' offseason, lies not in their own actions but in a bold, almost audacious prediction from an unexpected source, one that sees Kaminga landing a massive payday with a familiar rival? For weeks, the air around Jonathan Kaminga has been thick with speculation. The whispers of a potential sign-and trade have grown into a roaring chorus, a clear indication that the young forward's future in Golden State is far from certain. The narrative has been consistent. Kuminga, a raw talent with immense upside, hasn't quite found his consistent footing within Steve Kerr's intricate system, leading to a frustrating lack of clarity regarding his role and development. The collective anticipation among fans has been palpable, a shared understanding that a resolution, one way or another, is imminent. Among the various teams linked to Kuminga, one rival has consistently emerged as a top potential suitor, the Sacramento Kings. Their interest has been an open secret, a persistent hum in the background of off-season discussions. The Kings perpetually searching for that elusive piece to elevate them from playoff contender to genuine threat, see in Kaminga a tantalizing blend of athleticism, youth, and untapped potential. They've already made their intentions known, reportedly tabling a trade offer for Kaminga that included Devin Carter, Dario Saric, and 2 second-round picks. But here's where the plot thickens, where the quiet frustration of the offseason meets the potential for a dramatic, unexpected turn. The Warriors, according to reports, weren't impressed. They deemed the Kings' initial offering a lowball proposal, an insufficient return for a player they still view as a valuable asset, despite the internal complexities. This rejection, however, doesn't mean the end of the story. In fact, it might just be the opening act for a far more intriguing conclusion. Enter Ricky O'Donnell, a sharp NBA writer for SB Nation, who has just dropped a bombshell prediction that could redefine the Kaminga saga. O'Donnell doesn't just believe the Kings will eventually acquire Kaminga. He predicts they will do so by signing him to a colossal 4-year, $95 million contract, effectively in exchange for that very same initial trade offer the Warriors reportedly scoffed at. This isn't just a trade. It's a statement, a massive financial commitment to a player whose potential has often outshone his consistent production. O'Donnell's analysis offers a compelling rationale for why this seemingly lowball offer might actually be a nice return for the Warriors, especially considering Kaminga's often strained fit within Steve Kerr's read-and-react defense. I actually think that's a nice return for a player who never fit well into Steve Kerr's system, O'Donnell wrote. He highlights the value of Devin Carter, describing him as a point-of-attack defender who can get off some threes, a type of player always in demand in the modern NBA. Furthermore, he points out that Dario Saric, on an expiring deal, could easily be moved by the Warriors to another team looking for veteran shooting and spacing. This perspective suggests that the Warriors, despite their public stance, might be wise to reconsider their valuation of the Kings package. But the real intrigue, the true strategic gamble, lies with the Sacramento Kings. Why would they commit such a significant sum, nearly $250 million over 4 years, to a player who has yet to fully blossom? O'Donnell succinctly captures their motivation. Kaminga makes some sense for the Kings because they just need upside swings. Sacramento isn't a championship contender right now. They're a team in search of that next gear, that explosive injection of talent that can propel them deeper into the playoffs. Kaminga, at just 22 years old, represents exactly that, a high upside swing, a lottery ticket with the potential for a massive payoff. Crucially, O'Donnell emphasizes the potential for Kuminga to truly unleash his physical gifts away from the confines of Kerr's system. He could finally leverage his physical gifts away from Kerr's read and react defense, he notes. This is a critical point. Kuminga's athleticism, his raw power, and his burgeoning offensive repertoire have often seemed stifled by the Warriors' intricate ball movement-heavy scheme, which demands a high level of decision-making and off-ball movement. In Sacramento, with a different offensive philosophy and perhaps a clearer, more defined role, Kaminga could finally be unleashed, allowed to play with the freedom and aggression that his physical tools demand. The Kings, O'Donnell concludes, offer the cleanest fit of any potential suitor, a compelling argument that the environment in Sacramento could be the catalyst for Kaminga's long-awaited breakout. The only remaining hurdle, it seems, is for the Warriors to agree to play ball. Let's not forget the journey that has led us to this pivotal moment. Jonathan Kaminga, the 7th overall pick in the 2021 NBA Draft, arrived in Golden State with immense expectations. This past season, he showed flashes of brilliance, averaging a career-high 15.3 points for 0.6 rebounds and 2.2 assists per game. There were stretches where he looked like the future of the franchise, an athletic marvel capable of dominating on both ends of the floor. Yet, despite these promising moments, things took an odd, almost bewildering turn as the season wound down. Head coach Steve Kerr made the controversial decision to bench Kuminga entirely heading into the playoffs, a move that sent shockwaves through the fanbase and fueled the already rampant trade speculation. Since that perplexing decision, the expectation has been clear. Kuminga will almost certainly find a new opportunity this summer. The Kings, with their willingness to invest heavily and their need for high-upside talent, are emerging as not just a potential suitor, but perhaps the best alternative for him. A fresh start, a new system, and a team ready to invest in his development could be precisely what Kaminga needs to unlock his full, tantalizing potential. Of course, giving a 22-year-old forward who has yet to consistently put it all together a contract worth $95 million over the next 4 years is undeniably a bold commitment. It's a significant gamble, a wager on potential over proven consistency. But for a team like the Sacramento Kings, who are not yet ready to compete for a championship, this isn't necessarily a bad idea. It's an investment in the future, a bet that Kaminga's physical gifts and raw talent will eventually coalesce into a star-level player. They have the luxury of patience, the space to allow Kaminga to develop and learn without the immediate pressure of championship contention that defines the Warriors' current reality. This prediction by Ricky O'Donnell isn't just another rumor, it's a potential roadmap for the Warriors' offseason, a stark illustration of the dilemma they face with Kaminga. Do they hold out for a seemingly better offer, risking further stagnation and alienating young talent? Or do they play ball, accept a deal that, upon closer inspection, might provide a genuinely nice return and finally kickstart their long-delayed offseason? The silence from the Warriors' front office is deafening, but the echoes of this $95 million prediction are growing louder, hinting at a resolution that could reshape not only Jonathan Kaminga's career, but also the competitive landscape of the Western Conference. So, what's your take, basketball fanatics? Do you believe the Kings' offer, despite being initially rejected, is actually a fair return for Jonathan Kaminga? And if this $95 million deal comes to fruition, do you see Kaminga finally blossoming into the star he was drafted to be, free from the constraints of Steve Kerr's system? Let us know your thoughts, your hopes, and your frustrations in the comments below. If this deep dive into the Kaminga saga and the Warriors' perplexing offseason has sparked your interest, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive insights and passionate breakdowns of all things NBA. Let's keep this conversation roaring.